Today I'm making one of our favorites, Tamales Rojos de Puerco, pork tamales. They're so delicious, you guys are gonna love these. My pot is set to medium heat with 12 cups of boiling water and I'm gonna add the meat. I'm using pork butt that I've cut into smaller pieces and I like it with bone in because your broth is more flavorful. I'm adding a total of 6 pounds. I'm gonna season with salt and pepper and add 1 onion, 1 garlic head, cover it up and cook for about 3 hours. The meat has been cooking for about 3 hours. I'm gonna reduce the heat and remove it. We let it cool off before shredding. And also don't forget to remove the onion and the garlic. Now I set the heat back to medium and in the same broth, I'm gonna cook 2 chile anchos and 20 chile guajillos. Cook for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we take them out and add them into the blender, along with 3 cups of the broth. And don't get rid of the remaining broth because this is what we're gonna use for the masa. I'm also gonna add 7 garlic cloves and we blend. Now we reserve 1 cup of the sauce for the masa. I'm gonna start shredding the meat and I like to use the fork or you can use your hands. Now we can start making the picadillo. My pan is set to medium heat with some oil and I'm gonna start frying 3 minced garlic cloves, 1 white onion, and 2 jalapeños. Fry them for about 2 minutes. Now we add in the meat and cook for about 3 minutes. Next, we add in 6 Roma tomatoes and cook until the tomato releases all its juice. It's been about 5 minutes and now we add in the salsa. I'm gonna add another cup of the broth to the blender cup to get the remaining of the salsa. And also because we want our picadillo to be very juicy. Then we add 2.5 tablespoons of chicken bouillon, mix it in. Once it's well mixed, make sure to try for more salt or chicken bouillon. Cook for an additional 5 minutes. We turn off the heat and set it to the side. In a pot, I'm gonna warm up 6 cups of the remaining broth and mix in the cup of salsa that we reserved. Give it a mix and let it warm up because the broth for the masa needs to be warm. Now we're gonna prepare the masa. To my stand mixer, I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of lard, beat at medium speed for 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes, it's ready, and this is how it should look, fluffy. Now I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt and 5 teaspoons of baking powder. Mix for about a minute, then we reduce the speed to the lowest setting. Now I'm gonna add 1 cup of masa and 1 cup of broth. Make sure that all your liquids are warm. I'm gonna be using 6 cups of masa and a total of 6 to 7 cups of broth. So 1 cup of masa, 1 cup of broth, and we keep repeating until we run out of broth. And once we run out of broth, we start adding the warm water. In total, I ended up using 6 cups of masa, 7 cups of broth, and 1 cup of warm water. Once all the ingredients are in, we increase the speed to medium and keep mixing for 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes and now we're gonna test the masa. I grab a little piece, add it to a cup of water, and the masa should float. It means it's a well-hydrated masa. If it doesn't float, just add a little bit more water, continue mixing, and test again. Now we cover it up and let it rest for 15 minutes. I left the husks soaking overnight and this is so that they're soft and flexible. So we pat them dry with a paper towel and make sure you add your masa on the soft side. We add the masa. I personally like to only do a thin layer of masa, but it's all just personal preference. We add the filling and we fold. We continue doing the same until you run out of masa or filling, whichever comes first. With this amount of masa, I made about 36 tamales. I'm gonna add some water to my pot and make sure you add it just below the steamer. We add a layer of husk and now we can start arranging the tamales and add them standing up just like this. We add another layer of husk and a wet rag. Cover them up and cook at medium heat for 2 hours. It's been 2 hours, the tamales are now ready. I'm gonna take out a couple, let them rest for a few minutes so that the masa can set. Yesterday I made green chicken tamales, so if you don't like pork, you should check out my previous video. They're so delicious as well. All right guys, now for the moment of truth. Cheers. And there you have it, delicious Tamales Rojos de Puerco. Cheers!